FlossTube. I'm Annie and I'm the Proper Stitcher, and today is June the 3rd and this is FlossTube episode number 10. Thank you so much for all of you who have subscribed to my channel, who have liked my videos, who have commented, who have sent me messages and followed me on Instagram and Facebook. I really appreciate your support, your positivity, your words of encouragement. All of those things go a long way. I do read every single one of them, and I try to respond to all of them, but I do appreciate it. I've said it many times, but this community is just the best group of people, and I've really enjoyed this journey. So thank you so much for coming along with me. If you're new to my channel, thank you for watching today. I hope you like, hope you subscribe, give me a thumbs up, and follow me on all the other platforms. But let's dive right into episode number 10. I remember when my children turned 10, I guess it's about 4th grade, and we would always joke and say, "You're 2 hands now." And so, I'm 2 hands. So that is exciting. I still can't believe it, how time just is going by so fast. So I just wanted to thank you all again. But I hope everybody had a wonderful Memorial Day, had some time off, and some reflection, and just enjoyed the day. We traveled back over the weekend. We got home late Saturday night from our vacation in Florida, much needed vacation, and we had wonderful weather down in the panhandle of Florida where we were. It was actually cooler there than it was in Knoxville, Tennessee. Knoxville had 90-degree days, and we were in the 80s where we were. So we were very fortunate. And then we came home, and we had a cold front come through because of the rain that the area got on Saturday. So we've been very fortunate. Now today it's been raining all day, and it started late yesterday, and so now it's hot and humid. But I do love a summer rain, and we really needed the rain today, and so I was happy to see it. But I don't know if you have heard, or if you live in an area where cicadas are breeding and out and active, but right now we are kind of at one of the most active areas where cicadas are, and it's very loud. I was surprised to hear that when we got home on Saturday. So we got home late at night, and so we didn't hear them, and they're active during the day when the temperature's warmer. And on Sunday, I just kept thinking, why does my neighbor still have their sprinkler system on or their irrigation on? It was so loud, and I was like, it's been on all day. And my husband said, those are cicadas. So they only come around every 7 years. So it took me a day to get used to it, but it's pretty interesting. But so welcome to summer, welcome to June in the South, and I guess it's not just the South, but they're pretty active here in Knoxville. But like I said, vacation was wonderful. It was nice to see the ocean, just to have some sand in my toes. We did get to see my sister Lisa a couple of times. We met her and her husband Dan for dinner one night, met her puppy Molly, and the sweetest little boxer. I posted some pictures of her, but she is just adorable. I've spoken to Lisa several times since then, and she said just in 1 week since we've seen her, she's grown so much. So it's just funny about little boxer puppies. They get big before you know it. But we saw her on Wednesday night for dinner, and then they came out on Friday and spent some time with us where we were staying. So that was nice to see her. So that's pretty much it for my update for what we've been doing for over the last week. It's been busy since I got home, just trying to adjust. Even though we cleaned and picked up the house before we went out of town, there are still things to do when you get home, which, the grocery store and picking the dogs up from the kennel and all those fun things. And the dogs were so happy to see us. They are so sweet, and they just missed us, and I think we missed them more than they missed us, but it was good to see them. But for my sewing room update, everything's off the floor. I have put everything away. The only thing I'm still trying to figure out what to do with how to organize is all my floss. So I'm going to spend the next few days trying to get all of that figured out, because I know you do it one time. You don't want to have to go back and reorganize after you get a system in place. So I don't want to do it twice. So I'm trying to figure out the best thing for me. So if you have any suggestions, I am I would love to hear them. The man that built the bookshelves for me, he's coming on Saturday to build the craft table. And that is where I will be doing my filming, my cutting, my work, and just on the craft table. I'm anxious to see how it's going to look put together. I have no idea what to envision, if it's going to be tall. You know, I know it's going to be tall, but I mean how it's going to fit in this space. But it'll take up the center of the room, so that will be sort of like my desk, and I'll film from there. But he comes on Saturday to put that together for me, so I'm really excited. That's when I can get back into my finishing. Right now my finishing supplies are still in boxes. All my glue sticks, my hot glue gun, my sticky board, all of that stuff is kind of put away, and I haven't been able to do any finishing. So newsflash on this video, there will not be any new finishes, but I will show you some previous finishes. So that's my sewing room update. I love the space. My shutters won't be here probably for another few weeks. They did tell me it would be about 8 weeks when I ordered them. So by my calculation, we should be getting pretty close. Other than that, that is about it. So let's just hop into it. And I'll go through just some you know, a little bit more information as we go along. So, so June 1st started my stitch along with Artie and the Vintage Stitcher. And if you are new to the channel, or if you've missed the last few episodes, June the 1st, we started a Quaker Christmas by Bygone Stitches stitch along. And that started on Wednesday. Super excited about this one. Let me get my stitch alongs for you. So, now, sort of a disclaimer, I did do a previous video on Tuesday about this stitch along to kind of give you some information. So if you want to go back and watch that, you're welcome to do that. It'll give you it'll fill in some of the gaps for some of the questions you may have. But Artie and I, Artie from the Vintage Stitcher, if you don't follow her on Facebook, she has a Facebook group. She also has a FlossTube channel. But we started a stitch along for a Quaker Christmas from Bygone Stitches. And this is a pattern that was printed in 2007. So you can get it from some local needle workshops. And my local needle workshop, which is about an hour and a half away, is in Johnson City, Tennessee, and it's called Cross Stitch and Crafts. And Sandra and Amy, I spoke with Amy this morning, and she said that they have a few in stock. They can order it and get it to you in just a matter of days. So if you're wanting help and to speak with someone to order the pattern, kit it up, all of those things, Cross Stitch and Crafts in Johnson City, Tennessee is great for that. They are closed Sunday, Monday, and Tuesdays, but if you message them on Facebook, they are good about getting back to you right away. But let's get to the stitch along. And I will put information in the show notes below. So I'll put Cross Stitch and Crafts contact information in the show notes below. But so we started this on June 1st, and as I mentioned I always mention, any stitch along that I am a part of, I like to make it super easy. I am stitch when you want, start when you want, finish when you want kind of a person. So out of everything I do, no rules apply. You do you. Be you is what I tell my daughter all the time, but just have fun with it. There are a lot of varieties of this Quaker Christmas that you can do, and I'll go over that with you in a minute. So I am stitching this on 36 count Edinburgh cream, and I think I'm going to hold it back and let you see it. I think that might help. And this is the Balsam Fir Classic Colorworks that I'm using. So I started this motif, which is in the top left corner. I decided to start this one in the top left corner. But I love it. I think it's going to be a lot of fun. I've admired this sampler, or this for a long time. But here are the three colors. I was going to film earlier today, but it was so dark up here and rainy, and I've had a lot going on today, and so it's later in the day. It's about 4 o'clock. So I've said this before. I need to film in the mornings here. In this room, so please bear with me. I apologize. It's just been one of those days where every time I tried to film, something came up. So, but these are the colors I'm using. Yield Gold Classic Colorworks, Cupid Classic Colorworks, and Balsam Fir. And there is a DMC conversion if you want to use DMC. A lot of people are just making this their own, and this is the needle minder I'm using for it. I'm using this Zappy Dots Christmas needle minder. But I have heard from a lot of you who are stitching this. You have it kitted up, you're ready to go, you're excited about it, or you're stitching Quaker Christmas 2. Some people said that they are changing the Merry Christmas. I think Artie said this. She's changing the Merry Christmas to their name so she can leave it out year round. Some people have reversed the colors. They're doing the red instead of the green, and some people are doing these in all different colors. I even mentioned you can do each little motif as smalls and make little ornaments. Some people, I am so proud of some of you. You have messaged me and you said that you're new to cross stitch or you've never stitched anything so big, and neither have I, and you're just jumping right in, and I think that's wonderful. But what I like to think in my mind as I'm stitching this is I'm chunking it out, making it smaller and smaller so that by the end of November, hopefully I can have it done. You know, again, you all know me. There are some stitch alongs that I'm still months behind on. So, but that's okay. That's just how it is. But think of each motif as a small finish. Don't think of this as one big design. Think of it as a lot of little smalls in one big design, because that's what a Quaker sampler is. It's all these little motifs. So just have fun with it. I hope you join us. If not right now, maybe later. Some people said that they have too many projects going on. Don't we all? You don't even know half of what I have going on because I don't want to show you all my whips. Maybe one video I'll have just a whip parade and show you everything. But some people said that they will do this when they finish things that they're working on. So like I said, start when you can. So that is a Quaker Christmas, Bygone Stitches. I'll put Cross Stitching Crafts information below so that you can contact them if you'd like help ordering it or kitting this up. Amy's wonderful, and so is Sandra, but they're wonderful with, you tell them what kind of fabric or linen you'd like to use, or Ada, or even weave, and they will help you over the phone come up with something that works best for you. So that is my stitch along I'm hosting with the Vintage Stitcher. The other stitch along I'm doing is with Stitch Etc. And this is the sweetest little design. This is called Clarissa Beaumont by Little Robin Design. And Kim Gavlik and I wanted to do this stitch along when we first saw this design because we both love animals, and this is the sweetest design with all these little animal motifs. And when this is reproduction sampler, like I said, it's Clarissa Beaumont, but the girl was age 8. Clarissa was 8 when she stitched it. So I am already noticing some of the mistakes that she made in this pattern. And it's funny because I think I miscounted when I realized, and I go back and double check, the border's a little wonky because that's how she stitched it. So on the side over here, you can see, I don't know if you can see, there might be a glare, but the border is a little wonky on the side where she just, I guess, miscounted or tried to make it meet up, but it's funny to stitch that. But this is my progress. And I think I picked a linen that is too light for this. I picked 32 count light country mocha, and it really needs a darker linen for some of these colors to show up, but that's okay. I think that a lot of the colors she just stitched, she used the colors that she had on hand, and so some of those colors are not going to stand out because they didn't stand out when on the original design. So that's okay, but I do wish I had picked a darker linen. But these are the colors, and I'm really enjoying this. So this is Clarissa Beaumont from Little Robin Designs. I will put her email, her website below. You can directly download this PDF form, so you can start it immediately. All the called for colors are DMC, so it's a quick, easy peasy start if you'd like to join us. Super cute. So that I'm co-hosting with Stitch Etc. And Stitch Etc. is owned by my good friend Kim Gavlik, and she does all the wooden paddles and all the wooden boards that I show you all. And I have some to show you today, but that's who Kim is. And she has a Instagram page and a Facebook page. So it's Stitch, etc. etc. So some more of my whips. Now, I am super, ooh, I almost put my linen in my tea. Whew. So I am super excited. I'm going to take a quick sip, sorry. I am super excited about my progress on Summer at Cherry Hill. I have loved this design for a long time, and I am so glad that I am stitching this, and we have started a little support group, if you will, on Instagram. So there are several of us stitching this, and we are using the hashtag Cherry Hill, SAL, or Summer at Cherry Hill, but really what I'm seeing more is hashtag Cherry Hill, SAL. And I am stitching this on 32 count vintage country mocha. And here's my progress. And I am so excited. I think I really want to finish this one soon because one, I want to go ahead and frame it. And two, I've been stitching it a while, so I want to have a finish. But I'm going to zoom in a little bit for you. Hope you can see that. Maybe I'm up too close. And I am all the way down here on her dress. And so I started stitching her little design on her dress. And I absolutely love this so much. I did change the color red to cherry cobbler. It's chili pepper on the design. Here's my cherry needle minder. But I changed it to cherry cobbler because I did not have enough chili pepper. And when I held the cherry cobbler up to it, I really liked the red better. Hopefully it turns out okay when I finish her dress. We'll know. But I just love this little bee hive here. So I'm making good progress on that. It's a lot of fun. Join in. It's one that a lot of people are saying, I have that in my stash, and I had it in my stash for years and years. And so glad that I finally pulled it out and jumped right in. So, and you know, I've said this before too, stitch-alongs, the idea of a stitch-along, it's not homework. It's more of camaraderie. And so that's how I look at a stitch-along. And case in point would be, I was really getting frustrated stitching the tree. And I still don't know how to pronounce her name, and I know I'm not going to pronounce it right. And if I ever meet you, I know that you will correct me. But a friend of mine I've met in the Netherlands. We've never met, but I met her on Instagram. She was stitching this, and we started stitching this together, and we've been messaging each other back and forth. And she is so encouraging, and that's what stitch-alongs are about. It's about just, it's kind of like when you're doing something so big or small, but if you're doing an accomplishment of something that you just feel like you can't do it anymore, and then you have a friend that comes along and pats you on the back and says, you got this, you can finish this. That's how I see a stitch-along, and I hope you do too, because they're meant to be fun. They're meant to be just to bring us together, and that's just my little take on stitch-alongs. And so when I mention stitch-alongs, that's what I mean. I mean just having a good time with your stitching friends. Speaking of which, and I do this sometimes, something pops in my mind. If I don't tell you now, I'll forget. But I received the sweetest email from someone who won from last week's video, or the week before's video, and she said, and I told her that I was going to say this, but she said that she does not have a stitching community where she lives. She doesn't have people that she gets together and stitches with. And so she looks at FlossTube as a way to stitch with people. She looks at it like I'm meeting new people, or I see them as my friends, and I'm sitting around stitching and we're talking. And that is such a sweet way to look at it, because this is it makes this big community feel smaller when you look at it that way. And then I just thought back to all the people I've met through email and messaging, and I haven't met them, but I've met them through FlossTube, and It is. It's fun. It's fun to think of it that way. So just hopefully that gives you a different insight on how to think about and look at FlossTube. So moving on with my whips. I am making great progress on Plum Street Sampler's Henpeck. And I think I've told y'all this. I love chickens. I love roosters. I have paintings of them in my kitchen. I have just decorative things in my kitchen of chickens. And you know, it's funny, growing up in the South, you see chickens a lot, but I think, you know how some animals you watch and they're just relaxing? That's how I feel when I watch chickens. Isn't that funny? I just think that they're pretty, and they're pretty to watch. I mean, don't get me wrong, I don't want to go and play with chickens, but I think they're fun to watch. But my Henpeck progress, I'm probably rambling a little bit more than I should, but this is my progress on Henpeck. I'm going to hold it back first so you can see it. But I am loving these stars, the color blue, these little birds, like that little black bird on top of the chickens. Aren't they? It's just so cute. I just love it. And I am stitching this on 32 count platinum. And these, I want you to know I ordered some floss keeps from LaDonna, and they should be here soon. I'm so excited. But these are the colors, and I'm loving them. So pretty. This blue, you just wouldn't think would be a good patriotic blue, but it's beautiful. It's tartan plaid, and then the barn door. And I really like how those are looking together. It's very pretty. So that I enjoyed stitching on the other night. I really didn't want to put it down, so that's fun. And I'll show you my new needle minder for that. It's part of my haul. I'm excited. Okay, so when I was driving or traveling, I can't cross stitch and drive at the same time. Oh, wouldn't that be nice if we could do that? But when I was riding, my husband was driving down to Florida, I started stitching the 2020 Prairie Schooler Santa. This is North Wind. So what I did is, and by the way, this is the only thing I can stitch on in the car because I do get motion sickness, but this Davos fabric I can stitch on in the car. But I had my daughter and husband choose which one I started this time. And I have a lot of these I need to finish. So once I get my sewing machine set up, I'll work on some of these finishes. But this is my progress. So I stitched it on the way down and on the way back, on and off. And I just love how his beard looks like it's blowing in the wind. Isn't that just so pretty? And these bunnies are so adorable. This one's fun. I really like this one. So I will try to get this one done soon so he's not in limbo. Need to get him finished up. So I worked on that on the way to Florida. I have not stitched on my hashtag Friendship Friday in a couple of weeks. Fridays have not been good stitching days for me lately. I was on vacation last week, and the week before I was getting ready to go out of town. So maybe tomorrow I'll be able to give this some love. But this is a Friend Loveth, and it is a Plum Street Sampler design. And it says, a friend loveth at all times. And here are the colors. Super pretty. Roses and grays, teals. Really pretty. And I'm stitching this one on 32 count Graceful Gray. So if you'd like to join us, Fridays, it's called hashtag Friendship Friday. And really when I started it, I was thinking it would, a lot of designers have designs that are friendship theme, but it can also be something you're stitching for a friend. A lot of you are stitching for Brenda, from Brenda and the Cereal Starter, and it's called For the Love of Brenda. So just kind of that mindset, something you're stitching for a friend or thinking of a friend or as a gift for a friend, but that's where Friendship Friday came from. My other day that I stitch on is on Tuesday, and it's called Tomato Tuesday. So if you are stitching along or stitching anything tomato, just do a hashtag Tomato Tuesday because I love tomato pin cushions, and a lot of designs are tomato themed. So this one I'm stitching on is Plum Street Samplers Summertide Blessings. And this is so much fun to stitch. I am stitching this on 32 count, and I did make good progress this week. I'm stitching this on 32 count Stormy Night Belfast linen. So I'm going to hold it back here so you can see it. And it's kind of a gray blue, and it has beautiful marbling on it. One side's marbling, the other side's plain. I just love the marbling though. But this week, I think I stitched on it Tuesday. I just didn't get around to posting it. My living room is really dark at night. The lighting's bad. I don't have lighting to where I can take good photos. So I didn't get to take photos and post on Tuesday. But this was my progress. I've worked on the flag, got all the red on the flag done. And I started the girl. And I changed her buttons. They're black, but I changed them to the blue, because I just like blue. So I made that color change. And I liked how the blue looks with the white for her little shirt. So that's my progress on Summertide Blessings. And these are the colors. Aren't they pretty? There's Freedom, Chili Pepper, Oatmeal, Carriage Black. Those are the overdyes. And then it does call for some DMCs. And so that's what other colors I have. I was so disappointed when I went to the beach. I left the pattern at home, but I had the leaflet. So I was able to fill in the flower, but that was all I could do. And this is my needle minder for this one. So cute. I love these needle minders. All right, so I was able to put some love on my Hello from Liz Matthews butterfly cloche. I love this design, and but it's one that you really need to sit down and focus on. It has a lot of color changes. So you have, not you, me, because everybody's different. I'm sure you guys aren't like this, but I have to be in a frame of mind where I can sit and focus on this, because I don't stitch a lot of just color changes like this on the butterflies, just so much detail, but it's so beautiful. I have loved this since the moment I saw it for Needlework Expo, all of the sneak peeks that were coming out, and I've decided to use the MPI silks. I originally was going to do the DMC, but when I called and talked to Amy at Cross Stitching Crafts, I had already purchased the pattern in Louisville when I went to Louisville, Kentucky at the Finishing Touch. And I got the DMC floss there. And I was talking to Amy and I was asking her, well, what have you noticed more people doing? And she said, well, it just really depends on you. But if you're wanting to sit and really enjoy the stitch and you can just splurge a little, I would do the MPIs just because it is just going to be a little bit more of an enjoyable stitch for you. And so I did, and I'm glad I did, because I did a little bit of both. I did the DMC and I did the MPIs, and I'm pleased with how they're looking. But I worked on the little detail of this wing. So I did when I showed this to y'all last, I only had the outline of that wing. So I've started filling in this wing. And it is beautiful. I'll hold it back for you. I think I'm holding that the right way. Or does it go like this? I think it goes like this. And I just love this so much. I am stitching it on 36 count Picture This Plus Fog. And it's beautiful. It's a dream to stitch on. So pretty. This also comes in 28 count. So if you're wanting to stitch this, but don't want to do 36 count, it comes in 28 count. But it's beautiful. It is everything I'd hoped it would be. It is so pretty. Here are all the silks in my bag still. And then here's the black. And then this is kind of a pretty, it's hard to see. This is kind of a pretty greenish gray. But I am really enjoying this. And I was watching Elizabeth Ann Can Stitch, one of my favorite floss tubers, and she was on a trip recently, and she went to some cross stitch stores. I cannot remember where she found this, but she found some of the paperweights in a needlework store that you can stitch and put these behind it. So go and watch her video of her last video when she's showing her haul, and she talks about where she found some of these. But those are beautiful. I just love how Liz Matthews, she decided that, you know, this is such a beautiful piece that you may want some other accessories to go with it. And so this is so creative to put them in the paperweight. So loving this. It is going to be one that's going to take me a while, but that's okay. I really enjoy it. And this needle minder for this project is Stitching Mends the Soul. And that is so true for me. It does mend the soul. So that brings me to the end of my whips. So my modern folk embroidery, I've found a mistake I've made, and I'm trying to decide if it's one that I can push through and make it work, or if I'm going to need to rip it out. But all the berries in my bowl are off, which will then put the bird off center, which will then put the whole section off center. So I want to figure that one out before I show it to you again. So I kind of had to put it in timeout for a couple of days. So that's where modern folk embroidery, a fruit of plenty is, but still love it. I am just needing to figure out my mistake that I made. So that is all of my whips. So as I mentioned, I do not have any finishes this week. One, being on vacation. Two, all of my finishing supplies are still kind of boxed up from moving everything up here. So hopefully this weekend, after my craft table is finished, I will be able to get some finishing done. Plus I also have to finish stitching some of these things. Oh, I have too many whips right now. So let me show you some previous finishes. Well, one previous finish. So I am going to show you, I stitched from the Prairie Schooler December book this piece. But I modified it for myself. I did not want the words on it. So I just did half of this. And here it is. I stitched this a few years ago. This is one of my favorite pieces. So there is a little story about this stitched piece that I'll tell you in a minute. But I stitched it on, it's on 32 count. I think it's just 32 count light mocha. Love it. I found this little sled at there's a barn in the next town over that they host events in the summer, but in the winter for Christmas, going the first weekend in December, they always host a Christmas festival of sorts. I can't remember what it's called, but they have different vendors that set up inside the barn. They have tents. They have all kinds of local artists. And it's so much fun, and I can't wait for Christmas time to show y'all some of the things I have found there. So this is what I got from them, and this hangs on my fireplace, or next to my fireplace. And then I had this from Hobby Lobby, and I attached it. I had this beautiful plaid ribbon that I attached to it, and a rusty bell. And then I had this burlap ribbon. But this little ornament here was made by a local artisan, and he just takes, I don't know if you can see the width of that, but he just takes little pieces of wood, he cuts them, that looks like to be a 1/4 inch, and then he takes a hot pin, I don't know what it's called, but a wood pin, burning pin, and he draws on these ornaments. And so I put the tree on this ornament, tree ornament on this design. So I got the sled there, and I got this piece there. And I love it. I love how it turned out. But the little story about the stitched piece, and I'm going to show you that one more time. I just love how that turned out. But so this design I started at a retreat, a Prim Stitcher Society retreat that we were on a few years ago. And my dear friend Kim Gavlik, her mother was with us, and her mom's had some health issues. She had a stroke a few years ago, recently had another stroke, and has recently been diagnosed with Alzheimer's. And so about a year and a half ago, I can't remember when we were on this retreat. I guess it's been 2 years because of COVID last year. So she was sitting with me at the table. Her mother was. Her name's Virginia, and she just needs to have someone with her at all times. And Kim, I think, was she was selling some of her paddle boards and things like that at the booth in the retreat market. So Virginia was sitting with me, and again, I like to ask people, which one should I start? And so Virginia picked this, and she told me to start this piece. And it's so funny because I brought a lot of things to stitch on that trip, and I never thought I would pick this one or I would stitch this one, but she picked it, and I couldn't tell her no because she's so sweet. Anyway, so she sat with me the whole time on this retreat, and she kept saying, that's my house and that's your house. And so we would laugh and say, I'm stitching your house, and come on over to my house. And so she just got a big laugh out of that. And I will always remember Virginia when I see this piece, because she was so cute talking about that, and she just kept talking about her house and my house. And so that is December Prairie School, and I just love this design because you can take these little motifs or these little individuals and make little ornaments with them. Of course, anything Prairie Schooler I love, but so that is a finish that I did a few years ago. Well, really not that long ago. That was last year, I think I did this one. And another finish that I have is actually a gift. My friend Kay Reese, which I don't think I've mentioned her to you all, but I met Kay through Kim Gavlik. They live just a few miles apart. And Kay is a master quilter, a master stitcher. She stitches huge pieces, small pieces. She can stitch with 2 hands. Fast stitcher. And she's just a genius when it comes to finishing and when it comes to thread choices and fabric choices. And I just love calling Kay and talking to her. She's just like, she soothes my soul. Do you have a friend like that where you call and talk to her and you just feel, oh, and that's Kay. So Kay made this for me, and it is a cute little heart. And it says love is kind. And I'm assuming this is a hands-on design, and it's adorable with this little twine, these little felt flowers with the buttons, and I keep it on my shelf over here with my Ort container. But Kay made that for me. Kay also makes these great little bags that I use. She made this one for me for Halloween. But this is and they're like little wristlets. This is my and I love Frida Kahlo, so this is a Frida bag. But this is my accompany bag that goes with all of my project bags. So in here I have my readers, my little magnets, my scissors, extra needles, a pencil, my lotion. All these things are in here so that I can grab it and go with all of my project bags, and everything I need is in here. Extra needles, I think I said that. This little corner gauge that I use, it's the 3-inch corner gauge. So I love these bags. If you have a little bag like this, you understand, not like this because, you know, it's a one of a kind, but I mean, if you have a go-to bag that accompanies all of your project bags, that is what this is. And then I sometimes switch it out for Halloween during Halloween time. So thank you, Kay. I love these. So that is all of my previous finishes. My whips, my stitch along. Now we're going into haul and happy mail. So let's see. I want to show you my book of days. So I stitched my way through May. This is so much fun. And if you cannot get a copy of the Book of Days this year and you need to wait till next year, a calendar works too, but it is fun to look back over your month and see all that you stitched, because it just puts it into perspective what we've been working on. And then you can make your goals on the side. And so my goals for the month of June, which sometimes my goals go out the window because life happens. So my goals this month is to make to stay on top of my Quaker Christmas stitch along, to don't get behind, try to get page 1 stitched by the end of the month, to finish the 2 patriotic pieces I'm working on, which is Henpeck and the Summertide Blessings, because I really want to start more of the Plum Street sampler patriotic pieces and some of the small patriotic pieces that Priscilla and Chelsea have. I really want to do those and put them in my kitchen. Work on Clarissa B, and get caught up on my Blackbird design that I didn't show you this time, but the 'Tis the Season, the cardinal piece that I'm working on. And this weekend, being the first weekend of June, Brenda and the Serial Starter, you know, they started this I think last month or the month before, but the first weekend of each month, just stitch on Blackbird. And so that's what I'm hoping, is to get caught up on that piece. So those are my goals. So here's June. I've started on June. So this has been a lot of fun for me. All right, let me go into some haul. So a funny story. So while we were out of town, we had our mail stopped, stopped while we were out of town, and it resumed on Saturday. So, but we knew that our mail from the week we were gone would not be delivered until Tuesday because Monday was a holiday. Well, I was waiting and waiting, no mail. I mean, we got our mail for that day, but not the mail from the week before, and because it just didn't seem like that was the right amount. We should have had more mail. Nothing. Wednesday, nothing. And so I called late Wednesday and said, where's our mail from that week? And that our mail carrier forgot to deliver it. So he brought it today, and that's another reason why I kept delaying starting the video today, because I thought, well, maybe I would have some haul in there, because I can't remember what I've ordered, because it's been a few weeks. Not that I've ordered that much, but I can't remember what I'm expecting in the mail, and so I really wanted to get that in so I can share with y'all some of the things that I've ordered. But I'm glad that I did wait, because something else came today that I wanted to share with you. So, all right, so this came before I left. These are some new paddles, or wooden boards. I call them paddles. To me, that's what they are. They could be wooden boards. I know some people call them horn books. But Stitch Etc. Kim sent me some new paddles before I left for vacation. I don't think that I showed these last time. This is black. This is a new size that she has. And these two are a new shade of blue. These are the perfect size for the Red, White, and Bloom. I think the one with the sunflower that Brenda Gervais has. And this is a good size too. This is like what I've been showing y'all before with the red and the white that I've had. Kay has also finished a Halloween piece on one of these tall, skinny ones. Just taking one little motif out of some of those Halloween designs is always fun, and just plopping it on a little board or a little frame. So thank you, Kim, for sending these to me. Hopefully I'll get some finishes on those soon. So remember I said I had a new needle minder? This just came in a few minutes ago, and I love it. This came from Dragonfly Cottage Shop on Etsy, and it is an old vintage rooster. Let me put this behind a piece of paper. This is a vintage rooster pin, and she made it into a needle minder, and I love it. I mean, love it. Love everything about this. I'm going to have to do this again. But she had several to choose from, several vintage pins that she had turned into needle minders. I'll link her shop below, but it's Dragon Cottage Shop. And I am so excited to have this piece. I mean, a chicken with sparkles and rhinestones. It's beautiful. I love it. All right, so that came today. This I saw it on Instagram and had to get it immediately. Absolutely love it. Clarissa Beaumont. What is this one called? Silo Witches Quaker. I think I'm saying that right. Look at how cute this is. I had to do it. I had to get it. And I had to get the linen. This is an orange linen that goes with it. This is, what is this one called? Oh, I don't know what the linen is. I'll have to look it up. I just love this linen. I think it's called dark golden brown, and I got it in 32 count, but it's not dark golden brown. It's orange with that marbling. And then the colors, just 2 colors for this design, swamp water and guacamole. And it is absolutely precious. I had the pleasure of meeting Clarissa Beaumont once at a retreat in Pennsylvania. And I tried really hard not to be a fangirl, but it was really hard because she is such a lovely person. She is so nice. But I purchased one of her, she was selling some of her punch needle work that she actually had punch needled and framed, and it was a Santa. And I'll show that when I get my Christmas things out for later in the year. But it is one of my favorite pieces that I've ever purchased. And it's not very big. It's just maybe I don't know the measurements, but it's rectangular, 4 inches, 3x4 maybe. Beautiful, beautiful punch needle work. I cannot punch needle. I have tried it, and me and sharp objects like that and punching, it was not a good combination. So I can appreciate the work that goes into punch needle, but I love her cross stitch designs. And so I saw this on Instagram and I immediately had to have it. And so this will probably have to get added into my rotation, but not right now because I do have a lot of whips going on. So that is one piece that came this week. Another piece that came just now, a few minutes ago. I have wanted this since I saw it on Brenda and the Cereal Starter a couple of weeks ago. Brenda showed it, and it's beautiful. It is the Scarlet House Floral Motif Sampler. And this is another one of those big girl designs. I don't know if I will stitch this anytime soon. It's pretty large. It's 285 stitches wide, 217 inches high, stitches high. But there's something about it that just makes me happy. And again, like with other samplers with these motifs, one motif is like a little finish. So I will do this. I will do this eventually. And I just, no words. I just love this so much. That was really exciting for me to get. And then I got some Blackbird design books. One I have wanted for a long time, and it's Sweet Land of Liberty, because I want to do this, and I want to do this. So, Sweet Land of Liberty, Sewing Club. This one's really thick. It has a lot of designs in it. I want to show you. I want to really do some needle books. Kay will have to help me finish it. I have no idea how to finish needle books, but she is a master at sewing, and maybe she can teach me how to do that. Lots of beautiful little pin keeps. So that's a fun one. And then I saw someone post on Instagram. She had stitched this right here in Ooh La La. And I just saw it and I loved it. I thought I needed to do that, and it's right here. Isn't that a beautiful design? A sweet gift for someone or for yourself? But I have a box that this will fit on. And I just saw it and I knew it would go perfectly on that. So that is something I'll stitch because I have an idea in mind of how I want to finish it. And so that's how I justified getting this book. And I got these from Kitten Stitcher online. So thank you for sending those. Okay, I did get some happy mail, some Stitchy happy mail. I received a sweet thank you card from a previous winner, Tina. She sent me a card with a needle box with some sweet bees on it. Thank you so much, Tina. That was so nice, and you did not need to do that. And then I received a thank you card from Sheila, and she made this card herself. And it has this sweet little bird on it. It's like a sticker bird. So cute. Thank you, Sheila. And I saved my cards. I have a box that I keep all my cards in and letters that I receive. So those will definitely go in there. And then someone sent me, and she asked me not to share her name, but she sent me all of these books that she no longer needed or was going to stitch. She said she was cleaning out her stash, and she sent all these books for me to use as giveaways. So thank you so much. All of these will be put to good use for future giveaways. So yay, thank you. Thank you so much. So you guys are the best, all of you. I appreciate every single one of you out there. Okay, so let me get to some FlossTube shoutouts and then we'll move into giveaways. So I wanted to say that, and again, everything I'll put in the show notes below, but I've been trying to catch up on FlossTube, watching FlossTube that I missed while I was on vacation. And I started watching. She is new to me, but she's not new. She's been around for a long time. But Cynthia Brew, I like watching her a lot. And I think her channel is Cynthia Brew Stitching in the Light, and she's very calm. Her finishing is very sweet. I really like it. In her stitching, she stitches a lot of things that I like too. So I really enjoy watching her. Another FlossTuber who has been around a long time, and I've not mentioned her before, and that is Pumpkin Hollow Quilts, and Olivia is her name. And I love the things that she stitches too. She does, the first part of her video is stitching. The second part of her video is quilting. And she's also just a joy to watch. Her finishing is beautiful. She's just amazing. And speaking of quilting and floss tubing, over the next few weeks, I will start adding in my quilting to my videos. Once again, it's just kind of feeling like my rooms are in limbo, half and half. So I'm going to bring those out more and show you some previous quilts that I've worked on and some of the blocks I'm working on. But I haven't been doing a lot of sewing right now because I don't have my sewing table set up. And then I did mention him last week, but Chris Cross Stitch has just jumped right into this FlossTube world, and he's already filmed 3 videos in 1 week. And he's got some fun things going on over on his channel if you want to go watch him. He has a fun Halloween stitch along that he's doing this June. He's like, everybody does Christmas in July. He's wanting to focus on Halloween in June. So Chris Cross Stitch, and I'll link everybody below. And other than that, that's it. Let's move right on into giveaways. So because I've been out of town, I just now shipped off my last giveaways. So sorry for the delay on those. But I am back in the swing of things. Okay, so last week the question was, what is your favorite project you're working on right now? And I was so excited to read some of these because some of them I'd forgotten about, and it was good to add those to my notes of some designs and some that I've never heard of before. And so I did look up a lot of projects that y'all are working on. So thank you for answering. Thank you for being so detailed with your response. I love reading those. So the winners are, for number 1, which is this wooden paddle, is Laurel Kendrick. Laurel Kendrick. I will put my email below. So email me or direct message me, and I'll get that back, get those in the mail to you. Okay, the second, number 2, are these 2 heart and hand designs. And Cleta, C-L-E-T-A, Waldron, W-A-L-D-R-O-N, Cleta Waldron. These are yours. So send me a message. Number 3, which is Tis Halloween, Blackbird design, Trick or Treat stockings. So cute, this book. Georgie MacDougall. Georgie MacDougall. This one's yours. Number 4 is the Scarlet House Be Merry and Bright kit. And this goes to Lisa Haverkamp. Haverkamp. H-A-V-E-R-K-A-M-P. And number 5 is this Lizzie Kate Hello Spring kit. And this goes to D. Morrissey. D. Morrissey. So ladies, y'all send me an email and I'll get these out to you as soon as possible. And for my next giveaway, let's see. What do we want to answer? Why don't we answer? You know, I should think of these things before I get to this part of the video. Why don't we answer, what type of fabric do you like to stitch on? Do you like Aida, even weave, linen? What color do you like? What count do you like? Have you ever dyed your own linen? All things linen. How's that? Linen and fabric. Answer below what you prefer. And who knows, maybe in my giveaway I may have some linen to add in there, or some stash of that from my stash. So answer that below, and use the number 1, 2, 3, I think I have 5. So use what number you want in your comment below. Answer the question, like the video, subscribe to my channel, and I will choose or random generate a winner next week. Okay, so number 1 is going to be, this is a nice one. Number 1 is 4 postcards of Summer House Stitchworks Fragment and Time. So this is number 1. These are all number 1, but this is what the first one looks like. This is what the second one looks like. And the third. And the fourth. So I wanted to keep all of these together, so one person will get all 4 of these. So that's number 1. Number 2 is a Not Forgotten Farm, The Good Witch Sampler. Not Forgotten Farm, The Good Witch Sampler. Number 3 is Stacy Nash, House of Berries, Chapel Road, Miss Baxter's House. And this is so cute. Look at those chickens and roosters. Oh, so pretty. I think Miss Virginia stitched this for Kim, and it's really pretty. But that's number 3. Number 4 is Autumn Song, Blackbird design. And this has 2 patterns in it, and has the needle pin keep pattern, and then this one. So that's number 4. Number 5 is another Not Forgotten Farm, Cat in the Moon. And I've seen this stitched. Lori Brecklin had it in her booth once at one of the retreats I attended. And it is beautiful, stitched on kind of a bluish gray linen. And this moon and that cat just pop. It's so pretty. So that's number 5. So, like I said, like my video, subscribe to the channel, answer below, and I'll draw those next week. I think that's it for today. Hopefully I didn't forget anything. If I did, I'm sorry. We'll remember it next week. Thank you for watching. I hope you have a wonderful weekend. Enjoy some stitching time, and just, you know, I say it all the time, and I really mean it with all my heart. Stitching is fun. Stitching is supposed to be relaxing, and do not worry about your projects being perfect. I have always said, and I will always say, that a finished project is better than a perfect project. So go out and have fun and stitch. Show me your pictures on Instagram, tag me, and thank you so much for your support, and I look forward to seeing you next week. Thanks. Bye.